Hello guys, welcome to week 4 of your geography learning, and today we are going to be learning all about rivers. Let's have a look in detail about some of the things you're going to be learning about in this lesson. You'll know how to do by the end of it. So we're going to know what a river is and be able to describe its journey to the sea. You're going to be able to locate rivers on a map, and you're going to be able to name the longest river in England and in the UK. Just like all of our videos, guys, please feel free if you need to pause these. And in fact, I'll tell you to pause these videos at times. And if you need to go back and re-watch anything, then do that. That's a great thing about these lessons. So some words you should already know. Stream is a steady flow of water, a small, steady flow of water. A river is a large flow of water that is often downhill. Some words you're going to encounter today, and in fact, we're going to watch a video in a second, and I want you to really listen out for these words, are mouth, where a river flows into the sea. The flow of a river, the direction and speed that it takes. The source is where the river starts. Quite often it's maybe high up in a mountain, through a spring underground. It could be a lake or rainfall or bog. And finally, tributary. Now this is a funny word. Say that again. Tributary. Tributary are when smaller rivers flow into a larger river. Let's move on. So, pause this video, have a little think. What is a river? There's a picture of a river on your screen there. Well done if you said that it's a natural physical feature. It's a natural stream of water that flows downhill, so they are not man-made. Rivers are not man-made, they are natural. Okay, in this video here, we're going to watch in a second, I want you to really listen out for those words. Source, flow, and mouth. Have a look and listen out for those words.
Rivers are home to a whole host of different types of animal and plant life. But where do rivers come from?
Up there?
Many rivers start high up in hills or mountains. This is where its source is found.
Word number 1.
What are we looking for anyway? The source of the river. Well, we can't see much around here. Come on.
There are a few different...
My turn. The source of a river is where the river starts. Cool. And we'll have a look here at some examples of
river
where
source.
It can start.
It can be a lake, a bog, rainfall, or a spring.
I think I found it.
A spring is where water is released from under the ground. But the same thing happens whatever the source. Water from the source trickles downhill, forming a small stream, which joins another stream to make a bigger stream. This happens all the way down the hill until you get
A river!
the flow of the water slows as a river twists and bends, meandering its way through.
There we go. So there's that second word, flow. So the flow of a river, because like we said, a river is always moving. The flow of the river, the speed and the direction it takes will always change. At certain points, if it's going around a bend, it's going to slow down. If it's on a slightly steeper path, then it's going to go quite quickly, isn't it? So the flow, direction,
Countryside. But where does it go?
The sea?
Yes, rivers lead to the sea or a lake, and the place where it enters the sea or lake is called the river mouth. Rivers that flow into the sea form an estuary where fresh water from the river mixes with the salty water from the sea. It's not just animals that choose to live near rivers. People love to live near rivers too.
Ooh, nice house. Yeah, I'd like to live there.
Okay, so we're going to pause that there. So hopefully, guys, you can go back and rewatch this. But hopefully you should have heard and seen examples of a source, the flow, and the mouth of a river. So have a little think now, pause this video. What do you think this map shows? Well done if you said that it shows the rivers of England. You can see that this is a map of part of the United Kingdom and all of England there. And we've got these squiggly lines and words all over this map. This one down here, if you follow my mouse, you can see is the River Thames, a really famous river that we're going to be looking at in a little bit of detail today. In fact, first question, which river runs through the City of London? Yes, well done if you said the River Thames. You were exactly right. The River Thames is one of the most famous long rivers in England. You can see here is a picture of it. It's a very wide river, lots of boats and traffic down it. So we're going to be thinking about where does the River Thames start where does it flow through and end? If you look on our map here, you can see that it starts in a place called Kemble. This is the river source, because the source is where a river starts. Say that, the source is where a river starts. Good. And in this video, we're going to see the journey of the River Thames all the way from the source to the end. Let's play this here. To the end, the mouth. So we're going to go from source to mouth. So you can see here how gentle the River Thames starts when it starts in that place called Kemble. That's where the source of the River Thames is. And gradually it gets larger, it gets wider. The flow of the river increases, gets quicker. There's Oxford there, really famous place for rowing. So you can see here how much wider the river's got from the source in Kemble. It started off as a small stream and it's gradually got wider and wider. When you fast forward this bit, then it flows into Putney, into London now, Tower of London, Shard. These are places that the Thames flows past Lennox Bridge. London Eye. River Thames, Thames Barrier. So you can see, guys, that the journey that the River Thames has taken and the flow and the way it's changed away from Kemble to here now, the mouth of Southend Sea, where the River Thames flows into the sea. So the River Thames, like we said, starts in small springs in the Cotswold Hills in a place called Kemble, and it flows through Oxford, Windsor, London, and then into the North Sea by Southend. So now a stone marker, this is quite interesting. Someone has placed a stone marker, a little plaque here, in the place where the spring that provides the source of the River Thames. So there's actually, this is the spring of the start of the River Thames, if you like. You can see it here, here's a picture. And it's a place, a spring is a place where water naturally comes up from the ground, and the source is the start of the river. So here is the source of the River Thames, and you can even see there's a little stone plaque to mark that, which is very interesting. So the River Thames begins as a stream. The river then started to get bigger and bigger as it passed through the countryside, didn't it? As the Thames gets bigger, it travels through small settlements where people live, such as villages and towns. And the River Thames passes through Oxford as it gets even bigger. And lots of people love to row. In fact, I've done a little bit of rowing on the River Thames there. And many tributaries have now joined the Thames. Tributaries, you remember, is when smaller streams and rivers flow in to a larger river. So the River Thames is picking up its pace, it's getting bigger as it heads towards the sea. Then it travels through the City of London towards the sea. Here you can see a picture of the River Thames as it flows. It's not going in a straight line, is it? It's going around bends and corners. And here, the River Thames meets the mouth of the sea. And you can see in this picture here, this is called the mouth. Really important you remember that, guys. Where the river flows into the sea is called the mouth. And this is in Southend Sea, just up the road from where I live. I live kind of close to Gravesend. So another major river that we're going to look at this year is called the River Severn. This is another famous river that starts in Wales and it passes through lots of places, Shropshire, Worcestershire, Gloucestershire, and ends up in the Atlantic Ocean. And you can see the path it takes on this diagram here. So some ideas, what are you going to do this week? So one practical idea that I'd like to see, and I'd love to be able to share some of these, is to create your own river model at home out of anything you may have. And on your river model, I want you to label these three things. I want you to label the source, the river, and the mouth. You can see a couple of examples on here where this person has then gone and labelled the source, river, and mouth. So that's one idea that I'd like you to do, guys. Also, you've also got a quiz that I've set on Purple Mash. So feel free to go back, watch any of this information you need to again, and then complete that quiz on Purple Mash, guys. Right, cool. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's geography learning.